because they feel that there's something in you that you brought value. You brought value into that place. So they are in charge of themselves and in any situation. So what is it? Why do I need it? How do I get it? And that is what we are going to talk about this evening. How do I get it? Why do I need it? What said the Patoba, please, can you switch off your, can you mute? Patoba, mute yourself, please. Patoba, mute yourself. Then Osawaru, please also mute yourself. She's done that. Okay. So what is executive presence? What is it? Is the ability to act decisively. So these are two important words. Act decisively. 3, dignity. With those elements of what we call quintessential element, those elements that are visible as a leader. So that means you act decisively. That means we also bring in dignity into it. You bring some elements of leadership into it. That means before you develop that executive presence, there must be some leadership traits in you. You may not be the leader, but there will have to be some leadership traits in you. So when you now get this doctoral fellow, people will look up to you, oh, this person must be up there, must have some good things in here. So how do you now project that? How do you now project that? The Institute, Mujirade Oyekola, please mute yourself. Mujirade Oyekola, mute yourself. Thank you. People will now wonder, yes, that doctoral fellow that you have, you really earned it. You have showed that, yes, there's something in there to make people believe that when you enter a room, people will gravitate towards you. They will know that you have something to offer. You are bringing value to the table. And that is one of the essence of executive presence. Okay, so those with executive presence, what do? They work well under pressure. They don't look at it and say, I can't go on. I can't continue. You have to, because as a leader, you need to be able to get your team members out of the murky waters. So what do? You need to also communicate clearly. You have to have confidence. You have to have a capable persona. That is total packaging of you, total. So what do? So executive presence starts with you, with that person in the mirror, you. So presence is not something you are born with. Anyone can learn it. There are skills, their habits, their traits and attributes. It's not a question of status symbol or position. It's not because, oh, they gave me the title that I'm a prince or I'm this or that. No, you work on it. You earn it. You make people know that I know what I'm talking about. I bring value to the table. So what is it? So what is executive presence? So good synonym for executive presence starts from personal presence, or better still, leadership presence, before you go to the executive presence. You first, not First Bank now. Personal presence, leadership presence, then up to executive presence. So remember, it is not your leadership trait that will take you to that executive presence, but you need to work on it. Some people have the presence, they don't have the leadership position. Some people have the leadership position, but they don't have the executive presence. So it's very important that we do that. We get this two concept very well. So the basic concept is that the true leader must impress others. You must have the action. So you people will follow you, even if you influence them. You influence them. And that is one of the executive presence trait. So executive presence is a skill, it's not a trait. So it's something that you cultivate and you build over time. You build over time. So how do I know that I have executive presence? What can I do to improve my executive presence? First thing first, as I said, the man in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, whom do you see? You see yourself. If you see someone else, break that mirror. It's not because that someone is following somebody from the village. No, you need to know who you are. So it's not that the illiterates of the 21st century are those who cannot read nor write, For those who will not take action to improve their lives, you need to take the bold step that you have taken by coming to register, by coming to take a doctoral fellow with the institute. So no one is too beaten down or too old or too anything else to begin what a self-improvement program. And we are on the journey with this doctoral fellow. So willingness and willingness alone, you should be willing to move on, to say there's something I know that I'm lacking, there's something I know that I want to learn, so that is why I am willing to go on this journey. So money is not the issue. Money should not be the issue. Pay the price to improve yourself. Understand your leadership style. Mr. M or Mrs. M, please. Okay, Mohammed, please, can you mute yourself? He's done that. Understand your leadership style, then identify your emotional state. Emotion is very important in leadership style. So how do I learn to understand myself? How? We're going to get to that, and you will see how easy it is to learn how to understand yourself. So let's look at this. I'm sorry. Before we go to that, let's see this. Consider these important questions. What kind of leader am I? The one who helps to solve problems? A leader who helps people get along? Or how do others see me? You ask yourself first all these questions. What are my goals? What are my purpose? What are the expectations in working with people within teams? It's very important that we look at this. So this is the first step to understanding yourself as well as understanding others, because you need to be able to get people to know who you are. So how do you now know yourself? Let's look at the issue of the Johari window that we mentioned earlier. Johari window has four windows, or we call the quadrant. But before you go into the quadrant, you look at yourself, and that is the self here. Then you look at the others. And out of that self and others, there's the window of known and unknown. So you look at yourself and you look at others. How do others see me? And how do I see myself? What are those things that I don't know that I have, that people can see? And what are those things that I don't know that I have, or I don't even know at all, and others don't know about me? So let's look at the quadrant and see what it is like in the next slide. So you've seen this self and others. The first quadrant is what we call the open free area. That is known to you, known to others. You will see that. The second quadrant is unknown to you, but known to others. The third quadrant is what? Unknown to others, but known to you, hidden from others. Then the fourth quadrant is unknown to you, then also unknown to others. So let's see what this is all about. How do you break this down yourself to be able to know that you know what you are talking about? The first one, known, that is the open area. Free area, public area, also known as area of activity. People know you for who you are and whatever you are doing, and they know, oh, you are this, you are that, you are this, you are that. So what do they do to get you in that position? So these are the area that people will always say, oh, I know that person very well. You can do it. Oh, then they call you, they say, somebody has recommended you. Do you know this? Do you know that? And you now say, yes, I can. And that means that person knows who you are, and you know who you are as well. This is the area where people see us and they recommend us for higher responsibility. Okay. Then the second one, which is unknown. Unknown. That is unknown to you, but others know about you. This is unknown to the person, by the person himself, but people know about that person. So how can I now say that people know something about me and I don't know. I'll give you an example. One day, one of my colleagues somewhere, or one of my networks said, "Oh, Mrs. Igwe, do you know you you have what you can call you are a calculated risk taker." Since that day, honestly, I never knew that I have that until that man told me, one of my network. I said, calculated risk taker. So I now started working on myself. Saying, oh, that is interesting. And that's interesting. So I now knew how I could work on that and be able to do that for myself. So what do we do? Now, the third one is known unknown. Hidden self and hidden area. Avoided self area. A facade. What is known to others but kept hidden from, and therefore unknown to others. So you know, but others don't know. That means, imagine that they give Mrs. Igwe a political appointment, and people say, oh, she's good. Those who know me, number one, oh, she will not touch any money that is not her own. But inside of me, I'll say, hey, who is going to be poor? They give me small money. Let me see how I can manage myself in this one. But people, I know that about me. People will say, no, she's clean. So that means that side of me is unknown to them. So then the fourth one is all of us, both you and the other person does not know anything about that. But you just wonder, something came up and you found yourself doing it. And they say, Mrs. Igwe, we never knew that you could do that. I say, honestly, I didn't know that I could do it myself. It's unknown to me and it's unknown to others. So it's very important that we need to look at this and see what we can do to be able to develop our executive presence and be able to develop our leadership traits in order to get there. So remember, we said from personal to leadership, from leadership to the executive presence. Remember, some people have leadership positions, but they don't have the executive presence. Some people have the executive presence, but they don't have the leadership position. So why is this topic so important? Why are we talking about it on a Friday night? It's very important in the sense that, one, you need to know that good leaders today appear to be endangered species. What are they? Who are they? What are they doing? So all the 6 W's and H you put on leaders, how many of them will be able to pass the 6 W? Who are you? What are you doing? Which caucus do you belong to? So we need to be able to see the leadership traits in these people. So this is basically the how to, on how to manage people, why to, and what to of leadership. That is your ability to manage the corporate suite or the chief suite, that which is up there. Okay, those people that we call Oga at the top, what do we need to do? So you need to know how to manage them. Why am I in this position? What am I expected to do? So you see how and why and the what to. And that what to is very important, as well as the why and the how to, because that is where the action is. That is where the action is. If not, you will not be there. I want us to take this cartoon. Is a joke, but it's sending a message. Congratulations, got a leader. Giving back to a leader. Is it at the point of delivery that you said you've got a leader? Okay, see what I always give this example. Now King Charles, not Prince Charles anymore, King Charles, when he was born, they said, oh, here comes the prince. But that title prince does not bestow on him the title a leader. But now, he had to be in tutelage for about 70 years before the mother passed on. She didn't want to abdicate. So that means the mother must have studied, or something must have happened, and she said it is only death that will give you the leadership seat or position of UK. So it's very important that it's not by birth. You can also do what? Get it. You can learn it. So not everyone is born a leader, but everyone can develop leadership skills, and everyone can benefit from
Very
using.
sorry about this, man. Sorry for interrupting you, man. The
Yes,
account we are using is currently having an issue, so we need to migrate to a new account quickly. I've posted the link of the new training link on the messaging section. I'm very sorry about this. Please, everybody go to the message section. You see a new induction, a new pre-induction link. Kindly join the meeting with that link, please. I'm very
okay.
sorry about that.
Okay, no, let's go that. Let's do that now. Let's do that. So that means you are going to accept us all to come in.
Yes,
Now.
I'm going to do that shortly.